Now, new night, new series, new suit, new face. Ben Elton and Friday Night Live.
Yes, indeed. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this, the first of our new series, which is now, of course, called Friday Night Live. The title has changed, but very little else has changed. In fact, very little else has changed. In the world, we still have the same government. Even though we had an election, we have the same government. Mrs. Thatcher stormed Parliament for the third time. We better be careful. If she wins it again, they're going to have to let her keep it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know that they are thinking of televising Parliament, which is a good thing, because it means we're finally going to get some decent comedians on the television. But Mrs. Thatcher... Of course, Mrs. Thatcher was against televising Parliament, which was extraordinary because the bill got through. For the first time in history, the Tory party voted against the boss. They finally had a bit of bottle. It's funny how they develop minds of their own when there's a chance of getting on telly, isn't it, eh? Now, why is Mrs. Thatcher against televising Parliament? The reason is, and it's a very sensible one, because at the moment she is getting a bill through Parliament to stop upsetting and outrageous images on the television. Well, I can understand her fear once Today in Parliament's on the box, eh? And you get adults don't watch this, watch out for the kids slapped across Edwina Curry, and his little children having nightmares because they've been watching the debate about the National Health Service. Warning, the next programme may be considered upsetting for anybody who's considering getting ill in the next 5 years. Frank Boff, of course, has been looking into our hospitals. He has been looking into our hospitals on the BBC. Hospital Watch, an in-depth, honest look at our hospitals, everything that goes on, except we never saw one being closed. That's very strange, isn't it? There you've got old Frank. In a National Health Service in a crisis, there's the nurses striking for the first time ever. You've got hospitals raising money through charity and hamburger boxes. The government are swearing blind that they're putting more money in than ever before. What's Frank Boff saying? Now then, Doris, apparently your knees are a little bit achy. Is that what's about? Never mention the closures. That's like talking about the Second World War and not mentioning the Germans. Mind you, Kurt Holden's been doing all right with that for a while, hasn't he? There was some very good bit of topicality, love it to death. We don't hold back on this programme. There's some very bad language on telly the other day, but it didn't matter, because it was in French. Jacques Chirac, the Prime Minister of France, was at the EC, and he said a rude word to Mrs. Thatcher. Said something like, couillon. Couillon. Now, we have had it translated, and we can't tell you what it is, because it's rude. All we can say is they normally come in pairs. Mrs. Thatcher doesn't have any, but she's got the country by them. That's all we can say. Now... Very nice. First round of applause, and it's on a bollock gag. Sorry, Julian gag. Stop on. Oh, no, I apologise for that. Well, that's one episode of Friday Night Live and the series is gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, the international situation is very interesting at the moment. Mr. Kinnock has been in Palestine, finding out how terrible it is to get shot in the back. He should be careful. The Labour Party is not a very happy and cohesive unit at the moment. He'll be putting ideas into the heads of his backbenchers. He'll get back, sit in front of me, Neil. Sit in front of me. The only problem with getting elected to the front bench of the Labour Party is the rest of them are behind you. So many strange things going on. Palestine, very upsetting situation. The Israelis are trying to improve their image over there, trying to improve it. Of course, it didn't help the other day when they managed to bury alive a bunch of Palestinian rioters, you know. I mean, maybe the Israelis were trying to be nice. The Palestinians have been asking for their land back for quite a while, but they didn't quite say they wanted it on top of their heads, you know what I mean? Before anyone says that sick they were buried, they got dug out again before anybody got hurt. Now, one piece of good news, ladies and gentlemen, the government is about to start legislation to stop aerosols. Now, why are aerosols bad? Anagram for arsehole. Why are they bad? Because they break up the ozone layer and give us all skin cancer. I mean, that's good, using an aerosol. Oh, I've got whiffy armpits. I think I'll give myself skin cancer. That's good, isn't it? But people don't care because it's not coming to us yet. But over the South Pacific and in Australia, you're 4 times more likely to get it than you used to be able to. Some poor old Aussie, he's got a 6-pack of Fosters, he nods off in the noonday sun, wakes up 4 hours later covered in malignant tumours. Sod me, this stuff's a bit strong, I'm changing the Fosters. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have ourselves a fine show tonight. There is no doubt we're going to enjoy it, and right now, you're going to enjoy it, because this is a live show. I can just see Rick Astley making his way through the crowd. So, we're going to something completely different. Please welcome the voice of the Beehive! stuff there. Voice of the Beehive with their new single, Never Let It Be Said, that we don't bring you the very finest in live pop music here on Friday Night Live. Right now, we're going to have the finest in comedy because we're going to welcome back the oldest of oldest friends, the sexiest man who ever flogged the kebab. Please welcome Stavros.
Good evening, lady genties and pisshead what just come in from the pub. And welcome to Saturday Live on a Friday. Why is it on a Friday, ask you may well or what? Probably because it's such a good prog, peeps is a can't wait till Sat 4 to see it, innit? Anyway, I done been see you for nearly a year since, and what a lot is hap, I don't think. The arse, they know done terrific again, was bloody new, nothing. Still, they done more good recent, because they got rid of flippin' Charlie no-good Nicholas and his stupid wash and blowjob cocker-chick hairdo, eh? What else is hap? Oh, yes, we have an election, and when the campaign for the general elections go on, right, I'm gonna get all the local cans is coming in my shop, posing for pics and saying to me, please, 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 you vote for me, Stavros. Please, please, please. I'm gonna tell them, you can ask me for to vote for you until the cows go blue in the face. But I'm no bloody going to, mate. And anyway, get your head away from my body bits. Cheeky bloody sauce and sauce. Then, of course, since the gunmen's is back with revenge, we get all these flirtations, innit? You know these flirtations? British Gas, BP, Paula Yates. And now it's getting ridiculous. The other day, right, I'm gonna get a letter arrive inviting me for to participate in this most fabulous of opportunities, the sale of shares in Stavros PLC. I'm gonna think, hang about, that's yours true. So, I'm gonna give the gunman a ring and say, oi, I'm gonna own myself already, thank you very much. But he says, so what? The British peeps is on BP British Gas Telecom. We just took them away and sold them back to them. He's a bloody crazy sodmonger. Oh, what? But it's worse to come, because the next day, right, my wife, her inside the doors, go out shopping on her own to buy some new chairs, right, for the shop. Very nice green and orange. And no sooner has she brought them home when the police arrive and say to her, buying chairs in your own company, eh? We're arresting you. We're arresting you for her inside of the doors of trading. He's a bloody fat stockbroke bastard, isn't he? You know, every day on the stock market, right, all the stockbrokes is a measure their tums, just to see how fat they are. And then they average up all the chubby figures and come up with the hefty index. It's true. Anyway, stockbrokers can make the bugger off. I'm a stick to green shield stamps. Good night, pips.
Beautiful stuff, of course, from Stavros, looking so good. The raunch with the paunch is what the girls apparently call him right now. We're going to enjoy a UK stand-up, first time on TV, but lots and lots of experience around the clubs and delighting audiences all over, I am told. So please welcome, right now, to delight you, Bob Mills.
Hi, good evening. Well, it's the Australian bicentennial, if you hadn't noticed. I think they'd put a bit more about it on the television, wouldn't you? No, amazingly bloody interested we all are, but they've had 200 years now, the Australians, 200 years of art and culture, which has all come together in one great explosion of entertainment. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Prisoner Cellblock H. Wonderful programme. The acting is of a standard that we're not really used to in this country. Not since they took the wooden tops off, anyway. But it's set in a women's prison, and one thing slightly worries me. These poor women have to share 3 to a cell, which I think is quite inhumane, because I've counted every episode. There's only 11 of them in the whole bloody jail, you know? They could have a wing each, but no. The other thing they've sent us, bless them, Kylie Minogue. Little Charlene from Neighbours. Number 4 in the charts, very talented singer, fine actress, stupid name. Isn't it? No disrespect. But she sounds like one of those duff Scandinavian teams you get in the first round of the European Cup Winners' Cup, doesn't she? You know? Oh, an amazing result coming through here. Juventus 39, Kylie Minogue 0. So the part-timers from Finland have got it all to do in the next leg there, haven't they? But what we're all watching at the moment on the television, I hope, what we're all engrossed in, Winter Olympics. Non-stop entertainment all the way there, especially in the luge. You seen the luge? That's where they lie on their backs with their legs slightly apart in the rubber suits. They look just like those blow-up dolls you get. You've seen them? $29.99, the expensive one. Oh, you don't know those ones. Oh, that's good. Thanks a lot. But that's the luge, and phew, down they go. And I think they can't have much self-respect, these people, really, because, no, what happens in a few years' time when they've got to consult their children? You know, and they say, you know your father was an Olympic gold medalist, Hans. Oh, really, Dad? What, 5,000 metres? No, javelin? Decathlon? Oh, the luge. Oh, oh, well, I'll tell all my friends at school, Dad, obviously. You lay on a bread tin and slid down a hill, you know. Of course, one thing they don't have to worry about in the Winter Olympics is the politics of it all. Apartheid doesn't come into it, does it? I mean, a walkout by the black African nations ain't going to bugger up their medals table at all. Well, they are worried, apparently, for some reason, about drugs taken in winter sports. I can't see it myself. I've taken quite a few drugs, and between the 5 of us, I've taken some different varieties, but never anything that would make me want to jump off the end of a 90-metre ski ride. I wouldn't have it in my house. I live on the top floor, the windows open, you're mad, get it away from me. But I do watch a lot of television, as you've no doubt gathered. The nice thing about doing this job is you work in the evening, so you can watch telly during the day when all the good programmes are on. When you people are all at work, I suppose. I'm there watching the wildlife programmes. And I love these, because they remind me of when I was a kid at school and you hadn't done your geography homework. And you wake up in the morning and you're desperate not to go to school. You'll try anything. You come down coughing and spluttering and say, oh, Mum, I've got terrible pains in my chest. I've been coughing blood up. Will you phone me an ambulance? And what does she say? You'll be all right when you get to school. You know, my mother's an NHS consultant, I'll have you know. So. And then you get there and you get in school and you're sitting in class and it's panic time. You haven't done your homework, you can't think of an excuse. What can you say? My whole family spontaneously combusted last night. My little sister got possessed by devils, and what with all the furniture flying about, I couldn't... Anything, you know, when you say you're 14, you know, I went up Soho and got rolled by a hooker. She stole my satchel. Anything. But then the teacher comes in, you're in a panic, but suddenly it's all right. He turns the light out, he pulls the blinds down. Today you're having a film. Oh, brilliant. There is a God. And they put those films on. The Congo, land of mystery. An ancient land where man still lives close to the soil. But even here, the winds of change are blowing, and they cut to a shot of a local native with a Walkman on driving a combine harvester. Well, that's what? Another film for the geography students, great. But the people who made those films, right, they were geniuses. Because they had the most boring subjects to work on, but they made the most incredible films. They made them so that whole generations of 15-year-old schoolboys would sit totally rapt. You stared at the screen, you didn't take your face off, you never even blinked. Because if you did, you would miss the Amazonian Indian woman with no bra on. Because she was in all of them. But only for a few seconds. She just jumped on like that, quick flash, and off. And if you missed that, that was it. But, I mean, when she came on, all hell broke loose. A class full of 14-year-old alien sex fiends suddenly going mad, and I always showed myself up, you know. All right, Mills, get down, get off that screen, that is school property. Wax Staff Major, get some protractors and just prize him off, please. What can you say? I'm sorry, sir, I thought I recognised her. I thought that was the woman that stole my homework. Been lovely talking to you. Have a good night. God bless.
Well, Mills there. Yes, indeed. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, so often it has been said of Saturday Live before and Friday Night Live now that we don't have enough meaningless waffle on our show. We're going to put that right now as we take you to an old bar in old Edinburgh to hear some right old waffle. From our new friends, you're going to see a lot of them. Please enjoy Donald and George.
So I said, well, either it's my birthday or you're a bald albino.
Quite right, George, yes.
Absolutely. Anyway, the upshot of the whole thing was, on the 15th of August, I went to the theatre. The proper theatre, of course.
Of course, yes.
I went to see Phantom of the Opera with Michael Crawford.
Oh. You went with Michael Crawford. Yeah?
No. He was in it.
Oh, I see.
He wasn't sitting beside me.
I got you. Yes. So how was it, George?
Utterly pathetic, Donald. Yeah. Utterly pathetic. For a start, he was nothing like he was in that series about Frank. Oh. I mean, he didn't have the funny voice. No. He didn't say "Ooh, Betty" once. No berry, no raincoat, no stunts, and then to cap it all, do you know what he does? He starts singing.
Oh, no.
And then he doesn't stop singing.
He's showing off, George.
And eventually, he's warbling on about "Slowly Creeps the Night" or something. Oh, yeah. And between you and me, Donald McDermott, I do not need to know that. So I just stood up and shouted at him.
Good for you.
Yes, I just stood up and I said, "Listen here, Mike. If you're not too big to take a piece of sound advice, you'll cut the mask, you'll cut the singing, and you'll get back on the roller skates." And then I just left.
You just left?
Yes. Well, I had to, really. I was flying through the doors at the time. Yeah. Halfway through, I thought, well, will I go back in? But then I thought, no, George, let's just take the easy option and land right there on the pavement.
Yes.
So I did.
Quite right. You know, George, I had a similar disappointment myself. I went to see that Allo thing from the TV.
Oh, transferred to the theatre, has it?
Yes.
How was it?
Pathetic.
Good.
Yes. For a start, it was far too far away.
Oh, I see.
Do you know how on the TV it's much closer?
Well, it's right there on the TV.
Yes. Well, this thing was miles away.
Oh, no.
And secondly, to my mind, they had it down to a good length at half an hour.
Perfect length. How long was this one?
About 3 hours.
Oh, no. Well, you'd need an interval by that stage, wouldn't you?
Well, we did need an interval, yes. We did not need an interval lasting 21 hours.
A 21-hour interval?
Yes, and then to cap it all, they came back and did the same thing all over again.
Repeat?
Aye.
The second act, the same as the first act?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Well, it's either that or they got mixed up and just completely forgot the second act.
Could be.
So I thought, well, I've paid good money.
Sure.
I want to see the end of this bloody thing.
Quite right. So you just sat tight?
I did, yes. And then they proceeded to cock it up for the rest of the week.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Good.
So by the Saturday, it was the end of my tether.
Yeah.
So I stood up, I said, hello, I said, goodbye.
You left, did you?
Yes. Using the same method as you, oddly enough, yes.
Yes, I think we've missed our métier, Donald.
Yeah.
We should have been theatre critics, you know.
think so?
Well, it's quite straightforward. You know, if we stand up here, it's a sort of theatre over here. You just criticise. You see, it's quite straightforward. You just say, don't like the shirts, quite like the trousers, don't like the hairstyle. There you go, straightforward.
I bet I could probably cope with that.
Yeah,
George,
there's a few people over there you can talk about.
Yes, like the tie, don't like the hairstyle, bit old.
Be careful. You be very careful what you're saying about old people, Donald McDermott. We cherish our old people in this country of ours. You just talk to them. Ask them questions. You'll learn things.
Oh, I see, the sort of walking textbook theory.
Yes, exactly.
What was it really like during the war bit?
No, not that sort of question. Sort of, what's it actually like to dribble out the side of your mouth? What's it like wearing those big black bloomers you see hanging on balconies?
Oh, I see, sort of crucial questions.
Vital questions, yes. What's it like to say things again and again and again and again? What is it like to actually fancy Frank Boff, yeah? To look forward to songs of praise, to bump into things and fall
we get the
over
point, George.
Go up to them and say, excuse me, what's it like having a smelly hallway? That sort of question.
Sorry about that. It's not normal.
Yeah. That act known professionally as Hunter and Docherty. Watch out for them. Right now, we got an act you know very well, a very professional act. One's been around for a while, making great hits. This is another one. Please welcome Feargal Sharkey.
It's none of my affair who's stepping out with you these days. Well, I'm sure his heart is willing and he's his words are tongues of passion, or what passes for it now. But there's more love for you in my heart than this could ever hold.
There's a new force behind British business. It's the Enterprise Initiative from the DTI, and it could transform your company. A toy maker took the marketing initiative. Turnover of their teddy bears quickly took off when they put them on sale as an in-flight souvenir. And a marketing consultant helped a Cornish company to find a new market for their spiral staircases on, of all things, water chutes. The marketing initiative is part of the Enterprise Initiative from the DTI. Take it. Phone 0800 500 200 for a brochure.
Sign on the dotted line for a Scottish amicable pension, and who knows where it'll take you.
Villa in Spain, we adore you. We waited 20 years for you. Happiness, happiness, with the boat that we possess.
Where could a Scottish amicable pension take you? Just ask any independent financial advisor or ring 01200 0200 for a pensions pack.
Here, it says, unselected Club 1830 holidays, you can go away for 2 weeks, but only pay for 1 week.
That's a shame.
Why?
I can only spare a week.
Save up to £90 with Club 1830's new lower prices.
I've got a gum, it's Wrigley Spearmint gum. For me, it's the chew, it's my number one. It's so minty cool, minty through and through it. It tastes so great, you'll just love to chew it. Wrigley Spearmint gum. Cool, fresh taste, share it with someone. It's so minty cool, minty through and through it. Tastes so great, you'll just love to chew it. Tastes so great, you'll just love to chew it.
When man went to the moon, he took with him medicines from a company that for years has pioneered the frontiers of medical science. A company with a trusted medical heritage, helping to relieve pain in hospitals all over the world. From that same company comes a family medicine, Panadol. A pain reliever that gives fast, effective relief. A pain reliever that will not irritate your stomach. Panadol from Sterling Health.
Hi there, like to introduce more ways to eat your Cadbury's cream eggs. Here's Lone Ranger on Silver. Whoa, take it steady, Neddy. On Tom-Toms, Abraham Lincoln. Wham, bam, thank you, Abraham. Julius Caesar on saxophone. He's a taste bud please with that. Caesar Geezer. Bonnie Prince Charlie doing the Yoki Koki. Off of its block jock. Cadbury's cream eggs. How do you eat yours?
I think it might have been a kindness not to mention the suit. There is a certain amount of tax involved here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to be at the best point in the show now. We're going to try something new. This is going to run all through the series. We're going to have a lot of fun with it because we are going to play a game show. I am following in the footsteps of the very finest comedians, and I am also following in the footsteps of Jimmy Tarbuck, Bruce Forsyth, Michael Barrymore. We're going to have some time. Will you please help me right now? Play Stupid! Now then, ladies and gentlemen, yes, indeed, the rules are very simple, so simple, in fact, that we are not even going to explain them to you. And we know they're going to work because we have pinched them off lots of other game shows, and they work for them, so why shouldn't they work for us? Now then, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce the first contestant. This is a guy who made us all laugh a lot on the last series, but this time, he's not going to be with us much because he's appearing in a West End play with Rick Mail, which is a lot of fun. But right now, it's a treat to have Stephen Bing Bong Fry! Okay. Against Stephen Fry, we enjoy the fabulous company of Jimmy, my man, Marvell. All right, Marvell. So, here we go. And, of course, Sex Porch the Raunch with the paunch on the scoreboard. Stephen. So, what do you do then, Stephen?
I swear violently and unpredictably on live television.
Okay. We're looking forward to that one. And Jimbo Marvell, what do you do with
I'm a professional ad-libber.
Oh, that's good.
And it's my night off.
Okay, we're going to have one swearer and one bore. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to play Stupid. You ready to play with each other?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Have you got your fingers on your knobs?
Fingers on knobs, yes.
I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I am hoping that fingers on the knobs will become my catchphrase, okay, Ben? Fingers on the knobs, Elton. Okay, fingers on the knobs. Ben. You broke your knob. Jimbo Marvell has broken his knob. Fair enough, not the first time that's been heard. A lot of people out there thinking that's familiar. So, stop waffling, get on with the game. What bunch of C's were allowed into the House of Commons this week? Jimbo.
Hand over to you, Stephen.
Botty.
No.
Charlie's. No, next one.
Not Charlie's. The answer is cameras. Cameras and camera. It says cameraman here, very sexy. Should be camera people. Ladies and gentlemen, okay. What TB is a famous disease?
TB,
Stephen.
Giles Brandreth.
Giles Brandreth, no, the answer's Tony Blackburn, but I think we'll give you a point for Giles Brandreth. That was fantastic, because there was a B in that.
right.
There was a B. Can you spell? You both can spell?
Well, he's dyslexic, but I can't spell.
Okay, nice one, Jimbo. So, that's 1 point all if anybody's scoring, and 3 to me. What F is an aquatic life form that couldn't predict a hurricane if it was coming out of its bottom? Jimbo.
Feargal Sharkey?
No. Feargal Sharkey's good. McGaskell's better. We were looking for Michael Fish. Okay. You guessed it, didn't you?
They're tough, aren't they? They're very tough.
You've been to bed with Michael Fish?
Michael Fish. Yes. No, I haven't.
I was about to say, the lawyers can be nailing the door up at this point. We could be in trouble. We may never be allowed out.
You've
never been to bed?
Never. Oh, it's me. It's me that been.
Yes. It's Jimmy Marvell. Okay, so it's 17 points all. Which N has been shooting up the ratings?
Oh. The Colonel of the Coldstream Guards.
No, Neighbours. You're absolutely right. You were right. And for an extra 20 points, can anybody do the Neighbours theme tune for me?
Anybody?
No, obviously neither of you can. Obviously neither of you can do Neighbours, Stephen, although you did do it on your Christmas show, which was absolutely fantastic, says I watched that. So here we go then. This is a little bit satirical, a little bit libelous. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're going to enjoy the danger in the show here tonight. You enjoying yourselves?
No.
No. Oh, okay, your trousers looking good. Which Royal E this week? Royal E, so don't say, I mean, obviously, you worked it out, but let's have the joke, okay? Which Royal E this week went to work for a bloke who looks like he's got a stocking over his head and probably owes a few bob to Mendelssohn? Jimmy?
Edna Everage.
That's okay. I enjoy it. Why didn't we put the sting in there? Is it nearly over? No, we're going to have to play. The answer, of course. Okay, so, there we go. What LP is not going to be released for 18 months? The answer's Lester Piggott. I don't give you a chance on that one. We're going to have to move. We're going to have to move on this. I think you've got 12 points each. Which bee went on Wogan to explain that 20 quid for a £1,000 vase is a very fair price?
He's the man who always...
Ronnie.
Ronnie Silly Bird.
Yes,
The man who gets his names all the way wrong.
I'm the man who says everything twice.
That's right. The man who always says, I'm a filly sucker.
I'm a Chinese wit.
Yes, I'm a real fat... No, what's...
Barker.
Barker.
Oh, that's excellent. It was Ronnie Barker. What do you think actually happened? I mean, he's been in antique shop sketches a lot. What actually happened when a woman went in and said, what did he say, 20 quid, or was it two fat titties? I mean, what do you think?
I don't know. Well, he's been in antiques for a long time. I mean, you've seen the show, haven't you?
Obviously, there's the show. Excellent. Oh, sorry, I think that's outside of my lunch. All the classics from Richard Gatlap. We all remember the classics and nobody else does. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just time for one more question.
Oh, God.
What sea could cause a tidal wave if they all jumped up and down simultaneously?
The answer is Ben.
The cabinet, because they're all so fat. That's pretty
Brilliant.
satirical. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. We're really gonna bring down the government with that one. So, Harry, who won? He can't tell us because he hasn't been mic'd up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been great fun playing Stupid. Have you enjoyed yourself, boys?
No, not at all, no.
I've had a lovely time. You've had a lovely time. So, there's only the one prize. It's a signed picture of Tarbuck. I'm afraid you both won equally, so you get half of it each.
Wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. You've been watching Stupid. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That may or may not run. Many, many thanks to Stephen and Jimmy for being involved there. The only reason we didn't score because we hadn't got time to put a scoreboard together. Maybe if we play it again, we'll be a little bit more sophisticated. Maybe we'll drop it now. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Everything is up for grabs on this show, including this suit, which was very expensive if we only do that once. So, now, we are going to have a little bit of criticism on the show because people say you don't take criticism, you lefty liberals or whatever you are can't take criticism. We can take it. We've built our own video box. Please welcome Florence from Cradley.
I don't want to come out. I like it in here. Come on, you've got to come and do your work now. No, I don't want to go up there. It's horrible. Aye, please, don't make me go up there. Am I on? What I'd like to know is, where the blooming heck do they get their presenters from on the Roxy? I mean, that nice-looking Irish bloke with the pretty eyes is all right, as long as there's auto cute as working. Hello and welcome to the show. But then what do the powers that be do next? I know they say the kind of person we really need to present this show is a window cleaner who does Bruce Forsyth impersonations. And they don't stop there. Next on is Emma Wildchild Ridley. Oh, I love dancing, and this next band is a dance band that play dance music that we can all dance to. So let's dance. Emma Wildchild Ridley, I ask you. They're probably going to ask my mother to present it next. Hello, everybody. This is Betty, sensible grown-up Wilkins. And then there's the chart show. You know, videos are getting more and more like adverts nowadays, aren't they? I mean, in one of them Bananarama vids, you expect the cameras to pan down at any minute to their handbags on the dance floor and for there to be a bottle of Head and Shoulders sticking out the top. Ooh, Head and Shoulders. I didn't know you had a good singing voice. I don't. I'm sorry, girls. I didn't mean that nasty. And another thing. Look, will you shut up out there? You'll get your turn in a minute. Where was I? Another thing. We seem to be inundated with situation comedies which are nothing more than kitchen sink dramas with a few gags thrown in. As a clip from this recent television show shows. At our house, do-do-do, at our house, do-do-do-do. Ding dong. And home, darling, did you have a good day? Well, Polly and James have moved into the attic, and Mother has decided to move into the basement flat. But, darling, that means we have 362 people living with us. Yes, dear, but they are all family. Now, have you forgotten that your boss, Mr. Pilkington, is coming to dinner? Oh, yes, I'll go and change. Do-do-do-do. Hello, Mom. Hello, son. Oh, dear, I do wish he'd do something about his hair. Ding-dong. Oh, no, sorry, that's the husband. Ding-dong. Hello, Mr. Mr. Pilkington. Come in and I'll fix you a drink. Judith, I hope that bloody boss of mine doesn't arrive early. Have you seen my trousers? I seem to have lost them. Mr. Pilkington. Well, that's it for now. This has been Florence from Crankley speaking. Ta-ra!
Super stuff there. It was a pleasure to see something new, really original on the show. That was Josie Lawrence, and now we're going to see a lot more of her right across the series. Now I'm going to have to waffle a bit to fill a gap. We've got a bit of a change here. Actually, we were just talking about last year's show, looking at all the old news stories. It's amazing how things revolve and repeat themselves. Do you remember Blackie the Donk? The sad little donkey last year that the evil Spaniards were saved by the press from prodding and getting the fattest person in the village to sit on? Well, it's happening again this year. The Sun and the Star have gone over to save another donk, but this time the Spaniards have called the donkey Mrs. Thatcher, and that's absolutely true. And for our benefit, the press have changed the name to Beauty. This is because I think they don't think that the idea of a crowd of people prodding and Mrs. Thatcher and getting somebody to sit on top of her would provoke much public outrage. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a little bit of a cheap, not just to fill in a very cheap link, because right now we're going to have a very expensive piece of work. This is serious entertainment, an old friend of the show, coming back with his finest piece yet. Please welcome the John Collins Fan Club!
You're probably wondering who that was. That's Jimmy. Jimmy is someone who I used to be at school with. You're terribly close, aren't you? What's your name? Any idea? Of course, when I was at school, it was a rough, tough, barbaric world. Rugby and homosexuality were compulsory and frequently combined. Of course, that was pre-Clause 28 days. In those days when I was at school, the words head boy had quite a different meaning. In fact, if you shouted out the words head boy during assembly, half the school would kneel. Most of them in front of Jimmy. But Jimmy was the leader of the pack, and this then is the story of the leader of the pack. I thank you.
Is he really going out with him?
There he is, let's ask him.
Julian.
Is that Jimmy's ring you're wearing?
No, it's not, it's my ring.
Gee, it must be great riding with him.
Is he picking you up after school today?
No, I don't go to school anymore, I'm 28 now.
By the way, where did you meet him?
I met him at the candy store. He turned around and smiled at me, you get the picture?
Yes, we see.
That's when I fell for the leader of the pack. My folks were always putting him down. Down, down. They said that he came from the wrong side of town.
What do you mean when you said he came from the wrong side of town?
I mean that they told me he was bad. But I knew that he was just a bit sad. I'll never forget you, the leader of the pack. One day my dad said, find somebody new. I had to tell my Jimmy that we were through.
He said that you had to find somebody new.
Well, he stood there rather like you, but all I could do was cry. But I'm sorry I hurt him, the leader of the pack. He looked rather sad as he stood there on that rainy night. And as he drove away, the tears were beginning to show in his eyes. I begged him to drive carefully, but whether or not he heard me, quite frankly, I don't think I'll ever know. Watch out for that lorry, Jimmy. Well, I felt so helpless. What could I do? What could I do? Remembering all the things we've been through.
After all the things we've been through.
And when I'm at school, they all stop and stare. Probably because I'm far too old to be there. I'll never forget you, the leader of the pack. I think his name was Jimmy. So you see what I'm saying here, Hunters? He used to be the leader of the pack, but now he's gone. So he used to be the leader of the pack, but now he's gone. He is no more the leader of the pack, because now he's gone. It's no longer true to say he is the leader of the pack, because now he's gone. Well, in fact, he's dead. He was killed in a motorway accident with the lorry, as I just explained. And I do blame the demon drink on this particular occasion, because I saw Jimmy with a glass of sherry in his hand not half an hour before that fatal encounter with the lorry. So he was the leader of the pack, but now he's gone, and I'm the leader of the pack now. Much better job, I think I'll make of it. I don't have a motorbike, but I have got a Sierra estate. Quite nippy. So he was the leader of the pack, but now he's gone. I'll be gone myself in a minute. I thank you. And now I'm all alone.
Exchanging Ma. It gives you more clout.
Vantage chemists sell the Vantage brand. Quality you can trust. Prices you'd rather pay.
Now they'd rather be with me.
Mr. Ward?
Yes?
Ian Hubbard.
When somebody comes to sell you a pension, life assurance, or a mortgage, will they sell you one that suits you, or one that suits them? At Allied Dunbar, we promise we won't offer you any of our products until we've completed and analyzed a thorough fact find.
I want to draw a salary from it.
So the first time we meet, don't expect us to sell you anything at all.
You'll need a generous length in the arm.
Allied Dunbar. Before we open our mouths, we open our ears.
Eddie Cochran. How to get to Eddie Cochran. I remember, I blew practically every penny on this just knock-'em-dead wardrobe. So that night I said, a lot of good you did me, fellas. I just put on my Levi's and a sweatshirt and went down to that party. I remember how embarrassed I was. But Eddie asked me to stay.
Flakiest milk chocolate in the world.
First sign here, mate. Delivery.
What of? Nothing. Where do you want it?
Nothing?
Oh, for the butter.
We really do put nothing in butter, unless you like it salted. There's no colouring, no preservatives, no E-numbers, nothing. Which is why nothing has the real taste of butter.
That was quick. Nothing to it, Squire.
If there is any work for me, get a job. Sha-da-da-da, sha-da-da-da-da. Get a job. Sha-da-da-da, sha-da-da-da-da. Get a job. Sha-da-da-da, sha-da-da-da-da. Yip, 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 boom, boom, boom.
These days, better people come from Brook Street.
Because before you see the person we send you from Brook Street, we'll have seen a whole lot more who weren't exactly right for your job. Brook Street is changing.
Get a job.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the new studio. We've had the builders and plasters in all week, and one of them expressed an interest in having his say. So will you please welcome the plasterer? You'll recognise him.
Right, cut! What's happening? What is that? I'll tell you what that is, right? That is loads of money! And it's all mine, right? Loads of money. You can't have 1 penny, mate. It's all mine. I'm a plasterer, see? Bush, bush, shum, shum, dollop, dollop. Lovely job. Loads of money! Oh, mate, how much do you earn a year? Is that all? I earn more than that in a bleeding day, mate. Loads of money! Well, I ain't been a plasterer, though, right? I'll go down the dole, you know. Not to sign on, nah, just to wave loads of money at them. Their eyes, they glow up when they see all my money, they glow up. I don't care, I don't give them none. I'll go down the betting shop, I put the whole lot on horse. Horse comes in last, I put bleeding more on. Horse comes in last again, I put bleeding more on. Horse is dead, I put bleeding more on. I'll go down the butcher, I say, oi, mate, I want 1,000 quid on that piece of meat to win the derby. No, second thoughts, put some bleeding more on. That's what the old butcher calls me, bleeding more on. If I ever run out of money, right, which I don't, right? But if I do, which I don't, right? But if I do, yeah, well, anyway, right? I've got one of them little plastic cards, you know. I go down the old cash point machine, the old pie mash point, right? I stick it in the slot, right? Its sign comes up. How much money do you require? Yeah! And another sign comes up, right? It says, do you require any other service? I go, yeah, loads more money! And another sign comes out, right? It says, regretfully, you cannot have any more money because you cleaned me out, you rich bastard. I'll tell you then, cash points now, right? If I'm going down the high street, they see me coming, they get out the wall and leg it down the road. It's a war the bastard world's legging it. His geezer, right? He said to me the other day, right? He said, oi, loads of money. I goes, yeah? He says, if you've got so much money, right, how come you earn so much being a plasterer, right? Well, I'll tell you, right? A day in the life of a plasterer. In bed in the morning. Dush. Morning, darling. What's your name again? Phone goes, tingle, tingle, tingle. Hello, well plastered. Cost ya? Loads of money. All right, mate, be right over. Shunk, shunk, tingle, tingle, tingle. Lance job for you. See you there, mate. Bush. In the bathroom, shunk, tingle, tingle, tingle. Wind, 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 shunk. In the motor, bush. I'm at the job, right? Bush, bush, shum, shum, dollop, dollop, filthy joke. Bush, bush, shum, shum, filthy joke. Bush, bush, shum, shum, serious conversation. Them Iranians ain't half a bunch of nutters. Still, the Arsenal done well. Bush, bush, shum, shum. Down the pub at lunchtime. Bush, 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 bush. That's really filthy, disgusting joke all about a bird and a horse. Bush, bush. Back to work the afternoon. Bush, dollop, bush, sharp, bush, that'll do. Let's go home. Loads of money!
Yes, indeed. That was our very own Harry Enfield with a fascinating new character which will no doubt run and run. Right now, we'd like to introduce the first friend from across the Atlantic of this series. We hope and know you're going to enjoy him. Please welcome the excellent humour of Joe Bolster. Let's hear it.
Whoa. Thanks, folks. How you doing? Yeah. Been a good show so far? Yeah. I want to put a stop to that. My first time on Friday Night Live. How many of you folks are here tonight for the first time? All right. And how many have never been here before? Well, good audience. Well, you heard my name, Joe Bolster. Probably A lot of you haven't heard of me, that's fair to say? Well, I'll let you in a little secret. I'm not looking to be a big star in show business, and that's working out real good so far. Actually, I had to get a day job in New York to kind of supplement my comedy income. It's an interesting job. I work for one of the local radio stations in Manhattan. What I do is I get in my car during rush hour and ride around and report on helicopter traffic. Going really good. Driving's hard these days with some of the gadgets they have. You heard of this thing called a sleeper beeper? Thing like a hearing aid you put in your ear while you're driving. So if in case you start to fall asleep and your head passes a certain angle, an alarm goes off and you wake up. Of course, the noise scares you so much, you drive right off a cliff. But at least you're awake. You're dead, but you got to see how it happened. And if you got a car phone, you can call for an ambulance on the way down. Have you ordered some pizza for the doctors? Show them what a sport you are. I'm dying, but I'm buying. I like to ride around while I'm driving and listen to these radio call-in shows they have, you know, where people can call in and talk to a guy in the air. Doesn't it seem there's always one guy calling in who has no idea what's being discussed? And he always has some totally inappropriate comment to make. You know, the host goes, we're talking about the Mideast crisis, the Arabs and the Jews, one of the most explosive issues of our time. We want to know how you feel. The number's 525-1200. Hello, you're on the air. Yeah, how much should a hamster weigh? Sir, I don't think that pertains. Yeah, but mine's up to 78 pounds. I think it might be a Wolverine. And sometimes in those shows, they have a guest on who's so boring your radio dial changes by itself. And the host is begging people to call in. Once again, that number in Europe is Dusseldorf 947. You can see dumb signs you're driving. I was in New York the other day, went across 42nd Street, kind of a sleazy area. Went by an adult bookstore, get this sign. They had rows and rows of porno books. Next to that was a sign that said, under new management. Like the average pervert is going to be affected by this marketing technique. Bob, want to try that porn shop? No, I hear the management is terrible. They got no librarian. They're not using the Dewey Decimal System. I'm not going back till they make some major personnel changes. Well, it's nice being here in Europe. I was just in Italy. And while I was in Italy, I visited some old Roman ruins. And for no reason I could figure out, these ruins had a maintenance department. How do you maintain a ruins? Does the foreman come in at 9 o'clock and go, fellas, leave it the way it is. Ooh, I am beat. I'm going to take the rest of the day off. Ran into a friend here in the streets in London, a friend from the U.S. I didn't expect to see her, you know, and you always say the same thing in that situation. Small world. I can't believe I'm seeing you here. What a small world. What a dumb thing to say. I mean, you must pass 800 people a day you've never met. Do you ever say to one of them, you know, it's a big world. I've never met you in my life. I can't believe how big the world is. You are a total stranger to me. The world is humongous. 6 billion people, and we've never met. What are the odds? So on your way home tonight, any stranger you see, let them know, big world, I don't have a clue who you are. But if I ever see you again, first thing I'll think, small world. Well, I was reading the paper today. They're out there again trying to raise the Titanic. What a waste of money. You really think anybody's still alive down there? Boat's been down there 76 years. It would have to be a young kid in a big air pocket near the kitchen. Thank you. You folks are hip. I did that joke in Texas last week, and they went, is he serious? Oh, I think those people are dead. Of course, that's just a guess on my part. Well, did a little shopping the other day, went out and bought a watch. I got one of these watches that's waterproof down to 50 meters, which is a feature I use pretty much daily. I mean, if I was 50 meters underwater, I would not need a watch. Basically, I would know, time to go. When my eardrums start playing Wipeout, I'm gone. But you ever look at your watch and just kind of wonder when time started? I mean, when was the first day they started keeping time? There had to be a first day, right? Because at one time there's no time at all. Must have been frustrating to ask, do you have the time? And hear back, I don't even know what you're talking about. So when was the first day? I mean, one afternoon, did a caveman just go? It's Tuesday, about 6:30. your sundials, and let's go. See, then they got into BC, before Christ. Here's another concept I never understood. Because in the year, say, 128 BC, how did they know Christ was coming in 128 years? And if he was that important, why'd they give him such a hard time when he showed up? He was on time. Think about it. Well, I was doing my Jane Fonda workout today. Good workout, although she says something in there I think's a little unnecessary. About 10 minutes in the workout, she goes, "Don't forget to breathe." Well, thanks, Jane, for that helpful reminder. I was turning blue till you piped up. You folks are great. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, Joe Bolster there. Ladies and gentlemen, we approach near the end of the show now, and I just have to make a couple of points very clear. I've often spoken about useless things in life. I've gone from the toilets on top, the carpets on top of toilets on top of carpets. Often happens. The plumbing gets a little messed up there. Improvised out of that pretty well. And I've talked about normotebs. I've talked about many useless things. The most useless thing in my life at the moment is my fridge. My fridge has no idea or identity whatsoever, and could you turn off the auto cue, please? I do not use it. My fridge has no identity. It has no use whatsoever. I pay 24 hours electricity every day so that when I open my fridge door, it will light up my face. There is never any food in my fridge. I buy plenty of food. I always seem to be buying food. I open the fridge, no food. I think my fridge is eating my food. It eats my food and then wets itself. My fridge hates me. In the middle of the night, it thinks, I've eaten his food, think I'll piss on his floor. Never any food in my fridge, and you can never buy food when you want it. Never mind the Sunday trading bill. I want the shops open when I need them, in the middle of the night, because it is after a few pints of lager. That's when you will eat anything, and there's nothing in the house. It must be something to eat. I'm completely pissed. There must be something to eat. It always ends up the same. Cornflakes. With water. But it's slightly preferable to squeezing a tube of neat tomato puree down your neck. You will eat anything when you're drunk. I mean, why do you think all the fast food fried chicken places stay open all night? I mean, let's face it, in the daytime you're walking past, ringing bells, going unclean, unclean. 7 pints of lager, you get out the pub, think, I could just do with a bit of Rammy Old Crystal wrapped up in crap and deep fried. They give you a lemon clean-up square. A little lemon clean-up square. You ought to eat that. It's the tastiest thing in a box, believe me. I mean, a lemon clean-up square, it's scarcely adequate, is it, after you've thrown up on a carpet? They should give you a bucket. Maybe that's what the party buckets are for, eh? Eat a chicken, throw up in a bucket. Very convenient. Sometimes there's a queue at a Kentucky late at night and they might be a bit hard and they might be about to beat you up, so you get all paranoid, you better go home and have some cornflakes with water. But now, there's no cornflakes left and you will eat anything because you are drunk, anything, and suddenly that casserole dish that you put into soak 6 months ago looks absolutely beautiful. So you get a nice thing, I'll just chip all the crispy bits off. I'll just chip the crispy bits. Look at them lovely crispy bits. You're so pissed you don't realise you've done this every night for a month. You're through to the enamel, you know. What would this enamel look like with a bit of tube of tomato puree on top of it? You will do anything, eat anything when you are drunk. Your whole gastronomic expectation changes. Got any young parents in the audience tonight? We've got little kids, won't eat their food. Get them pissed. Little Jimmy, 5 years old, couple of vodkas, flip me, those Brussels sprouts look nice. I mean, all right, you've got to put up with him lying face down in a bathroom in a puddle of vomit singing Maybe It's Because I'm a Londoner, but he's eating his greens. Ladies and gentlemen, I say that my fridge is empty. It is not. I lied to you, ladies and gentlemen. My fridge is not empty. There are things in it, but they've been there so long I don't notice them anymore. They're like sitting tenants. They've got landlord's rights. They can stay as long as they like. Maybe when they tighten up the property laws, I can get them out, but at the moment they're safe. There are levels of degradation in my fridge. In the top of the fridge lives the ice monster, whose sole job it is in life to grow bigger and attach cans of my lager to his body. So I'll break my wrist when I try and get him out of the fridge. Give me back my lager, ice monster. No, piss off, I'm keeping it. He has a terrible secret. The ice monster knows I have left him too long. I should have defrosted him years ago. He knows you can't kill me. You can't defrost me because I'll flood the kitchen. He is too big to kill. Underneath the ice monster in my fridge lives the teacup. The teacup full of brown chickeny stuff. Now why is there a teacup in my kitchen, in my fridge, full of brown chickeny stuff? I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's because 3 years ago, when I cooked the last meal I ever cooked, it was chicken, and in a moment of insane and irrational optimism, with no hope of success, I thought, oh, I'll collect them chickeny bits in a teacup. They'll make soup tomorrow. I put them in the fridge, and they are still there. 3 years later. But they've grown teeth and had children. And they scuttle about the fridge chatting to the ice monster about how much they hate me. Deeper, deeper still in the degradation that is the lowest pit of my fridge lies the drawer into which you must never look. Never look inside that drawer, or the evils of the world are contained therein. It is like Pandora's box. It is Friday the 13th, part 12. Oh, wow, what an innocent-looking drawer. Wow, and the contents of that drawer, so horrifying. I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because 3 years ago, in another moment of insane and irrational optimism with no hope of success, whilst passing a greengrocer, you thought, I know, I'll buy a brown paper bag full of vegetables, I'll eat healthy for a while. I'm going to be healthy for once, I'm not going to eat crap like when I was a student, I'm going to eat healthily for once. So, you buy the vegetable in the brown paper bag, and you even jog the last 50 metres home. You get home, put the bag in the fridge, in the drawer, up the pub, 7 pints of lager, Kentucky Fried Chicken. 3 years later, you open the drawer. It's steaming. You think I'll just pick up the brown paper bag and walk across the room? Drop it in the bin. So, you pick up the brown paper bag, but only the top section comes away in your hands. The bottom is attached to the bottom of the drawer into which you must never look by a carrot swamp. So you close the drawer, close the fridge, sell the house, and move. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm concentrating on the fridge so much because you must be warned. You must be warned that the fridge is a home wrecker. The fridge breaks up relationships, it breaks up lives, especially in communal houses where you have to live together. Like when people are students or when they live with their mates. And mates translates as people you live to because you can't afford the rent on your own. Everyone who shares a house is a fridge demon. They are demon fridge users. Everyone has their own particular way of being a bastard. The first and the worst fridge demon in a communal house is Mr. Hey, look, it was only a sausage. It was my sausage and you ate it! Hey, look, it was only a sausage. Mr. Hey, look. Mr. Hey, look, it's only a sausage will distort every single good liberal value because he is inevitably a 60s throwback, and he will distort every hippie value to make you feel like a possessionist Nazi breadhead who supports apartheid because you bought food and he ate it. Next door to Mr. Hey, look, it was only a sausage. Lives Ms. Look, why don't we have a kitty and buy a communal sausage? Because if we did that, Mr. Hey, look, it was only a sausage would buy it and say, hey, look, it was only a sausage. The worst type of fridge user in a communal house, I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, they haunted my adolescence and my early 20s, was the house couple. The two 19-year-olds who suddenly have a relationship 3 weeks after they've left home and suddenly they're acting like an age-old married couple. 56 years old now, it's a mature relationship. And they get all snooty and they go shopping together and they buy things really cheaply and they go and compare prices up and down the high street. And they get back and I'm eating my Vesta chow mein and they say, Ben, that cost you £10 and we've just had a 4-course meal with lasagna for 10p each. So I go, shut up! And they go into the kitchen with all their really together stuff and they start loading up their bit of the fridge and my bit of the fridge is totally empty except for a completely empty tube of prime Mueller cheese bread that every night I hit with a mallet trying to get the last bit out. But their bit of the fridge is really full and it's got loads and loads of really together things in it. Oh, really great stuff like yoghurt and milk and mince and fruit. And it's surrounded by barbed wire and Doberman pinchers. And every day they make together meals. They make really proper meals. If you finish with the kitchen, Ben, we want to make a proper meal. And they make a proper meal. And they make spag bowl. And I'm looking at it and I've had my Vesta and I'm going to go and get a Kentucky and I can't afford it. And I go, oh, God, spag bowl. Oh, God, oh, please, just a bit. And they've got a bit left. Just a tiny bit left. And I'm thinking, please give it me just a mouthful. But no! They scrape it in a Tupperware dish and put it in their bit of the fridge. Behind the machine gun nests. And then they go upstairs and bonk each other. They are eating properly and they're getting laid. Bastards! I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I had to share that moment with you. It was important getting rid of my anxieties. We hope you had a real fine time on the first of our Friday Night Lives. It ain't over yet, by no means, because this is a new single from a fabulous pop artist. You've seen him once, he was great then. Now, getting even better. Please welcome Feargal Sharkey!
captured my life. You've been having fun, I can see. Well, baby, come on, go. Stop standing in the door. And don't leave me hanging this way. I've got to get you out of my system or into my life. I've got to get you out of my system or into my life. This is the moment of truth. I leave it up to you. But I've just got to know today. I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm not wasting precious time. I understand you're still recovering from a heart that's lost all feeling. I don't want to wonder any longer what you've got to say, but I've just got to know either way. I've got to get you out of my system or into my life. I've got to get you out of my system or into my life. I don't want to wonder any longer what you've got to say, but I've just got to know either way. This is the moment of truth. I leave it up to you. But I've just got to know either way. I've got to get you out of my system or into my life. I've got to get you out of my system or into my life. Well, I've got to get